first of all, there's these rumblings about Tatum coming back this season.
What?
There are rumblings, whether you want to admit it or not.
From him saying that he has a date in mind.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, he's doing everything he can to make people understand that, you know what, I stayed here all summer. I worked out. Here I am at the Patriots game. Here I am at Patriots training camp.
So here's the thing. When it originally happened, I was the first one to come out and be like, no way. Like, you don't even take a chance at putting him out there. What I didn't know is that, within 12 hours of this thing happening, he's on the operating table, that they did everything in their power to give him every chance to make a faster recovery than, I guess, what you would normally think is possible from this injury. Now, there's still a ton of hurdles to go, and as much as it's fun seeing him dunk in a practice or, walking off a court and doing all these things, there's still obstacles to go. And yet you can't tell me, we're watching these videos of what he's doing now, and that 4 more months from now, February, March, whatever you want to say, that he wouldn't be close to ready to play basketball. And so again, there'll be a bunch of different, does he continue to make incredible progress? Does he continue to look as good as he does? A lot of boxes to check. But I just at this point, I just keep moving it up. I thought it was going to be March. I think the date he circled was the day after his birthday. And I wonder and that's in March. And I wonder if he's going to get back even faster than that.
But, you saw Lillard tore an Achilles. You saw Halliburton tore an Achilles during the playoffs last year. Both of those teams were quick to point, okay, you're not going to see those guys next year. Celtics have been very, very quiet about this.
The way I explain this to everybody is the Celtics never put a ceiling on anything. So they're not going to put a ceiling on what this year's team is capable of, even as everyone sits there and says, oh, they have all these losses. It's going to be harder for them to maintain their success. And they look at Tatum and they're like, we're not going to unequivocally just say you're out for the year. What good does that do? Why do you take away someone's hope and motivation? Let him rehab at his own pace, which has been, he's clearly attacking this thing, and we'll see where it takes him.
It's going to be obviously a huge start of the season for Jaylen Brown, as he is now the guy. And we saw him at Celtics Media Day, which you must have been there.
Oh, yeah.
He was across the street.
Yeah, he got interviews.
Yeah.
He was where the players were.
We got interviews.
Where were you?
GBH building, back corner office.
Oh no, I was in GBH building. I'm in a theater.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Whatever. Brown seems to be embracing this role, and they had social media people following him around. But it's make no mistake about it. He is tasked with being the guy on this team. So how do you think he handles this?
Couldn't you tell there was almost a difference in the tone of his voice about he's always been a leader, but I just think he understands the magnitude of this season where if Tatum is rehabbing, if there's been all these changes, it's just his 10th year now. It's you just take on more and more and more. And from organizing off-season field trips to concerts and to going down to Gillette and just kind of...
What concerts they go to?
See, this is where you put me on the spot, Fred. I'm going to have to go through artists that I'm sure young hip people would know.
Okay.
Not so much me. But a lot of new faces, and not just the rookies and the guys that like Ugo that they drafted, but Josh Minot coming in and Luka Garza. He wanted to develop chemistry with those guys, so he set up all these outings, and you can see how important it was. The younger guys would come in and say they were having lunch one day right before the training camp launched, and Joe just brings all the young players together to kind of talk about, hey, it's tough for young guys to get on the court. Here's what we want to see from you this season, and Jaylen just slides in and listens, and then offers his own advice. He didn't have to rehab here. He didn't have to do all these outings, but it was important to him because he wants to maintain the level of success they've had, and it's really cool to me to see a guy like that who, everyone wants to think of as 1A, 1B, and he doesn't want to play into that at all, but he's just trying to be Jaylen Brown and be a good leader.
But the team he's taking over with has suffered a massive talent drain since last year, and obviously Derek White is going to start next to him, but the other three spots are big question marks. What is your best guess as to who is going to start on this team tonight?
So, Joe's kind of said there's not going to be a firm starting lineup. We'll see about that. Guys like to know what they're doing. I could see them on nights they need to be bigger. I would assume they'll go Peyton, Derek, Jaylen, Boucher, Kata. And we'll see. Like the front court could depend on like how guys play and how Keita develops and how he does in that role. Boucher looked really good. Like guy who's been around and feels like can bring a little bit of a veteran presence there and steadiness. But like if Sam started tonight, I wouldn't be surprised. If they went a little smaller. Especially if they're going to play faster, you'd probably go single big a little bit more than they did last year.
Well, let's stop right there. The tempo of this team is supposed to be much quicker than last year. They've lost talent, but they're going to make up for this by running everybody to death.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah, and like it was a talking point almost immediately. Like they were going to do it in the summer, and then they were going to just kind of keep it up. How do you mask when you've lost? Undeniably, just very skilled players. So if you lose Kristaps and Al and Luke and Drew, you make up for it by trying to play harder, by trying to create more turnovers, win the margins even more than or win them differently than you did a year ago. I do think they're gonna have to like crank up the pace. The steals were up in the preseason. I think it's gonna look a little different. It might look a little sloppy at times because if you try to play fast, usually some bad things can happen in terms of live ball turnovers and stuff like that. They got to be a little bit crisp with that. So there'll be bumps in the road more than we've seen. Like I don't think they've lost more than 2 games in a row the last 2 seasons. Like that's going to change. They'll have rough patches. But if Derek and Jalen and Peyton stay healthy, and that's hard to say because Jalen's already dealing with this hamstring. But if those guys stay healthy for more often than not this season, like they'll be in the mix. The East is just so bad. It's just they'll be there, not just because the East is bad, but because there's still more talent remaining. We focus so much on what they lost that we don't put enough stock in what they've got.
Is there any chance like that we see something really crazy? I don't know if it was Missoula himself who said it or somebody was just kind of theorizing that they're going to play so fast they may turn to something that almost resembling hockey shifts. Like you're going to have guys out there playing for like 2 minutes and not just the end of the bench guys, but guys out there running so hard and so fast that they're going to be subbing like all the time.
So I think Jordan Walsh said like that they had experimented with that at some point during the preseason or whatever, and Joe came out and quickly said it would not happen like that. But
that's probably.
But yet, I think the premise of it is you're exactly correct. Like you're going to throw your big men out there and you're going to say just go as hard as you can for 5 minutes, and then we're going to sub someone else in, and we'll see how that looks.
He's played, if I remember, in the preseason, he played 11 or 12 guys in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's got to go down. I don't. That might be a little ambitious, but again, who knows? Like if you're just planning to crank the pace, to play hard, and if you need guys to be fresh, then maybe it is. Maybe there is shorter subs, and the rotation changes a little bit, but. I don't know. Like Peyton's going to play. Peyton and all these guys that maybe had their minutes managed a little bit in the preseason are going to play way more because they're your guys and they've been around and they know how to win. And so I just think those minutes are going to climb. The interesting part to me is like so Tom Thibodeau was out at practice the other day and everyone's like, oh God, is Joe going to go 48 minutes with all these guys now? And I don't think he's going to get that drastic, but I do wonder if invariably the minutes for some of your best players will go up a little bit. You got to tread cautiously. You don't want to run them into the ground. But you do have to lean on your best players.
Did you play in that game?
My daughter was getting her braces off, and she spared me. And I don't know if I would have played anyway. I am not very good at basketball. So
wow, he thinks you're a loser then.
You're just the kind of guy you wanted in that game.
I will say so. One thing, and Hardy, not to invariably bring the conversation back to golf, but one of the things I really enjoy is golfing with people that are better than me because it shows you a level, one, that should inspire you to get to that level, and 2, like it just teaches you something. And so I love the idea of going against really good players in any sport. Yep. And so you want to kick my butt? That happens every week in golf. Like, cool. Like I'm not going to. It's not going to.
They were pressing,
but yeah, I know
against girls.
Yeah, they were pressing full court and trapping for all 12 minutes
against old people and girls.
Just a reminder of how good those guys are.
No.
I have zero problems with it.
You don't think it was a hard-on move?
What's that?
You don't think it was a hard-on move by Missoula? Like he was trying to be like a tough guy?
I think there was some level of, hey, look, you asked these silly questions. Look how good we are. We know what we're doing. But I also think he did embrace the right idea of like, oh, I guess there was a lot of trash talking on that court. Some maybe before the scoreboard got lit up, but I think he just likes seeing people on a human level in terms of like their competitiveness
in a situation where he has the decided advantage. Now, do you?
Undeniably, but I don't. Some people were like, "Oh, it's so bullying." I never took.
I
it
don't
that
think
way.
it's
And
bullying.
I don't
I just think it's being
I don't
a
think
hard
any of the
on.
people that got to experience it and who came away raving about the experience thought it was a negative in any way.
No, I think that they were embarrassed and are trying to spin it into something else. But do you? But I do have this question to you, and it's because you know Missoula far better than me. You're in this situation and they're trying super hard. It's not even that they played you. It's just that they're like trying super hard. And if you went to the Y and there were people full court pressing and trapping, you'd be like, all right, get out of here. Like, what the hell are you doing? If someone just elbowed Missoula and knocked his teeth out,
He probably would have loved it.
see, why did no one do that? Someone should have done it.
And that was actually my first question when I saw someone from the game afterward. I said, did anyone just like knock him down? Like, or even when someone's taking a three, you just.
Yeah, right.
Like just that's if they're gonna play that way, I'm just maybe muck it up a little bit.
Because even if you went to like the Brighton Y, well, that's a bad example. If you went to Brighton Y, if you went to the Brighton Y and you went with a friend and you're like, we're playing, and you go, hey guys, like we're gonna full court press and trap, you're gonna get elbowed in the face. Like there's gonna be some kind of pushback that like, what are you doing? This is ridiculous. You can't just. You got to do something. Yeah. And if it's Missoula that's doing it, like if he's up on you and you have the ball and he's going, take the ball and slash down, catch him with an elbow.
One, even if you have designs to do that, sometimes they're just too quick and too good to make it happen. But
that might be the most embarrassing thing if you went to really like give him a cheap shot, catch elbow him, and then you spin around and it just hit it.
I bring this up a million times, but invariably there's always a guest that hasn't heard it. So I played against Super Friends in high school, like our AAU team in some weird situation got Weber and Rose's AAU team. Ooh. And we couldn't bring the ball up court. Like, I mean, and they weren't even full court pressing. It was just man on man, like just taking you from in. It was just a man on man. Like if we all ran down, they ran down with us.
So what'd you do?
Just got killed. And Seth Hoffman on our team was like number 2 after the game in 3-point, like not percentage, 3-point makes. Cause he we lost like 100-6. But Hoffman was just taking these half-court shots, and, like, 2 went in. So, like, he was just hucking everything up, like, from through half-court, just inside the half-court. Yeah. Like, he would just chuck it up because there was what were we going to do? There was nothing we could do. So, like, I've been there. Now, did I throw an elbow? No, I just wanted it to end. I just wanted but they were playing a competitive game of basketball where there was a trophy at the end. So you just kind of went, this is kind of interesting. It was humbling. The idea of not getting the ball, like not being able to dribble, like that's the thing. It's not getting dunked on, and it's not any of that. It was that
you're not even really going to be allowed to play any part of this game.
Like you're going to baseball pass off the baseline. Hopefully, someone catches it and just turns and chucks something up. Seth Hoffman in that, whose brother was on Saved by the Bell, played Jesse's stepbrother. All right, thank you, Chris Forsberg. For everything, and we look forward to having you on every Wednesday.
Thank you, Chris, for being here.
You're backing up. You did offend the man, but what are you going to do?
Won't be the last time.
I hope it is.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Toucher and Hardy here. For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.